Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Maddie and welcome to my new podcast called Sit with Maddie. In today's podcast, we are going to be talking about my life and my mental illnesses, but this podcast overall is going to be about a whole bunch of different things, whether that be my mental illnesses, my family, pets, whatever you can think of, I may talk about it. I am going to have this podcast on YouTube for the videos and then on Spotify if you just want to listen. Feel free to listen or watch it on whatever you would like. Without further ado, let's get into today's podcast. Okay, so let's get into me, who I am, what I struggle with, all the good, juicy details that anyone would want to know about someone's life. So hi, I'm Maddie. I'm 19 years old. My full name is Madeline, but feel free to call me Maddie because it's shorter and easier. I live in upstate New York. I don't know if I just said that I was 19 years old, but I am 19 years old and I'm going to be 20 this year, which blows my freaking mind. Like I said earlier, I struggle with mental illnesses. I have BPD, depression, and anxiety, as well as some eating issues. And so I really want to use this platform to bring awareness to some of those issues because, I know that there's a lot of people that struggle out there, and I know how hard it is for me, which we'll get into a little later. But I just know how hard it is. So, my channel is about my life and my vlogs, and I love to post about them. YouTube is something I'm very passionate about, and I have 600 subscribers, and I'm so very thankful for every single one of you, even if they don't always watch my videos, because growing up, I would make little videos all the time with my sister and my cousin, and I would do little movies and stuff like that. So to be able to have a platform really means a lot to me, even if it's not a million subscribers like some other people. I love stuffed animals. This is our friend Pom Pom. He's going to be in our video today. I love Sanrio, and I love anime, and I love Japan. I am trying to honestly find myself right now. I don't know if it's just because I'm 19 and I'm lost, or if it's just because my mental illness has taken over my brain. At least that's how I feel. And I don't know who I am anymore. But basically, that's what I'm going through. I love music. My favorite artists are Suicide Boys, Melanie Martinez. I love concerts. I've been to a lot. If you look at my past videos, you could definitely see some of my content of concerts, because this past year I went to Suicide Boys, Melanie Martinez, Biba Doobie. I couldn't even tell you how many concerts I've been to. But yeah, I'm a really shy person, but I'm also outgoing once I get to know you, and I love talking. I have a boyfriend of almost 2 years. His name is Chain. He's sadly not with me today, but I am basically with him all the time because I live with him and his family right now. And he is really my best friend. I'm so glad to have met him and to have him in my life. He's my biggest supporter, and he loves that I love expressing myself. I'm very creative, so YouTube is kind of like my outlet for that. I love sharing my life. I love editing. I just love the whole aspect of making YouTube videos. So I'm really glad I can have you guys here today and listen to this and get to know me. So for today's topic, I thought I would go more in depth about my mental illnesses and how it affects me on a daily basis, because a lot of people know slightly that I have issues because I have mentioned it on here a couple times, and I have done videos where like I'm cleaning, trying to get my life together, but I feel like I have never gone into depth about how much I struggle with my mental illnesses, because I am also a person who, when it comes to posting on YouTube, never wants to be fake. I want to be real. Like, I want to be my true, honest, most authentic self that I can put out there, because if not, then why am I making YouTube? Like, I want to be a real person. I don't want to be like, I know a lot of people say like on social media everything's fake. I don't want to be one of those everything's fake people. I want to be one of those real people that people can relate to, because it's not all glammed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hate on other people, but just for my content and my channel, I want to be my most authentic self. So let me get situated and we will start talking about my mental illnesses. Okay, so we're gonna start from the beginning, which is middle school. During middle school, I went through a lot of different things with friends, and that kind of made me realize that my sadness that I was feeling from all of that wasn't just normal sadness. I went through a lot of different things, and it was very hard for me to process them. And in 6th grade, I was sad, and I was sad a lot, and I just couldn't understand why. Like, I would sit there and cry all the time in my shower and just thought that was normal. And because I was going through all this different stuff with my middle school friends, I kind of just was like, maybe it's that. But when things weren't bad and things got like normal, I was like, why do I still feel this way? And so what ended up happening was I ended up seeing a therapist in 7th grade, and I ended up realizing and finding out that I had depression. And that was the first diagnosis I ever got, even though I struggled with eating in elementary school, but I didn't know eating disorders were a thing. So how was I supposed to know, you know? Like, I was young. So I kind of just carried on with that, and throughout middle school, I kind of just ignored it because that was scary. Sorry, there was a noise. I kind of just ignored it because it wasn't as bad. Like, I feel like when you're young and you have depression, sometimes it's bad, other times it's not. And for me, it was kind of like leveled out. Like, it was really bad for moments, and it was really rough for me for a bit in 8th grade. And then when I got to 9th grade, it was really bad. But like when I was in 6th and 7th grade, it was like, not so bad. So anyway, carrying on with that. So then, like I said, 9th grade hits, and I went through a lot of stuff with friends. I lost my best friend of literally, I was friends with this girl from 4 all the way until 9th grade. And when she left, it honestly really broke my heart because she was my best friend. We're gonna call her M because I'm not gonna say her name, but M and I were very close. And what ended up happening was we just kind of misunderstood each other, because when you grow up, you change. And so M started hanging out with other people, and I took that the wrong way. And I was just kind of immature, and she was immature. So in the end, it kind of just, we were just clicking heads. In 9th grade, I got death threats from my old friends, and that honestly scared me. I have never, ever, ever gotten anything like that, and that was my first time. And so, like, having to sit there and get this text message of someone threatening to take your life, like, I sat there and I was like, the fuck? It was honestly scary, and I didn't even know it was my friends at first, because we ended up having to contact the police and the school, and them together found out who it was. And when I found out that it was my old friends, I think something in my heart, like, honestly died that day. Because you're friends with people and you think that you know who they are, and then they turn around and do something like that to you. It's such like a shock moment, you know? So 9th grade was really rough. And then in 10th grade, COVID hit. And COVID definitely affected my depression a lot, especially being inside all the time. You would think like, oh, it's nice. And it always is nice. I feel like everyone thought that COVID was nice at first because we didn't have to go to school. We could do online. We could do whatever. And so that's kind of what it was. And I was okay at first, and I ended up like, my depression leveled out again because I was at home, I was relaxing, I didn't have to go to school, and I didn't like school. And when it hit high school, because of the death threats, because of my friends, I just really wanted to be by myself. I wanted true, authentic friends. I didn't want fake friends. I didn't want any drama. I just wanted to genuinely be liked by people. And I always struggled with that growing up, because in fourth grade and like elementary school, I literally was the popular girl's, like, have you ever seen one of those movies where like there's the one girl and she's trying to fit in, so like she does whatever the popular girls say? That was me. I would buy them anything, give them my money, give them my food, like, just because I wanted to be fitting in. And so, like I said, 10th grade, COVID, I was okay at first, and then the next year came. 11th and 12th grade, I actually doubled up and graduated a year early. And so I didn't really want to worry about school at all. I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna double up and do whatever. So during this time, I was in a long distance relationship for 3 years. And I started dating this guy, Jay, from 9th grade all the way until my 11th and 12th grade year. And I had a lot of complications with that relationship, and in the end, it really turned into something that I didn't want it to turn into, and we just were not working out. And I didn't love him anymore, and he loved me, and he became very toxic, and he honestly, I know he wanted to be with me and I didn't want to be with him, but some of the things he said just did not work with me. Like, he would say, if you don't do this, then I'm not doing that. And I struggle with self-harm. So he was like, if you self-harm, I'm self-harming. Like, who says that to somebody? Let's take a minute. Who says that to somebody? Not me. I don't, like, that is a very messed up thing to say. And so, when I broke that off, my depression spiraled so bad that till this day, it has only gotten worse. 2021 was honestly one of the worst years of my life, and I will stand by that unless something else happens. 2021, I graduated high school. After I graduated high school, I was lost. I ended up getting in another relationship with this other person that used me for, you can only imagine what they were trying to use me for. And that ended up destroying my heart. I have never been used like that. I've never been betrayed like that. I honestly was falling off of my deep end. Now, I said I struggled with self-harm. I started struggling with self-harm when I was in 8th grade, and I didn't do it a lot. I did it once or twice in 8th grade and didn't do it again all the way until 2021. So obviously, I ended up going back to my old habits, and honestly, I never thought that that would become such a coping mechanism for me. It took all of my energy not to do it, because I was so reliant on it for getting me through things that it just ended up being what it was. And I didn't care what other people said. I didn't care. Like, I just wanted to feel okay. And so 2021, like I said, worst year of my life. So first it was that guy that used me. And that was over the summer. So I already graduated by then. Then I had my ex trying to communicate with me and get back with me. Then I ended up being friends with my old friends, the ones that sent the death threat. I ended up falling in love with one of my friends. That friend did not like me back, but we had such a weird relationship that it was like friends with benefits in a way. Like, there was no anything sexual. It was just, we liked each other, but he didn't like me, but he would tell people I was his girlfriend if he needed to. It was not really healthy. And so that kind of messed with my heart a lot, and that kind of really messed with my head. And in the end, I ended up having to choose between him and my boyfriend now, because I knew that if I was dating someone, he and I wouldn't get along. But if I gave up this opportunity to date this new sweet guy, I don't know what I'm missing. So I was really conflicted, and I ended up choosing the boyfriend that I have now, and I'm really thankful that I did because I genuinely don't know what I would do without him. So shout out really to my boyfriend because he really is helpful and supportive. But so during this time, my mental health was just taking such a spiral. I got COVID in 2021 as well. I was stuck inside my room by myself. I had the worst COVID ever. I lost my taste and my smell, and I still don't normally have it back, so I have long-term lasting effects of COVID, which really fucked me up. And I still to this day can't eat foods because some of them taste gross, rotten, chemically. It's such a weird thing, and I still don't understand it. I don't know why that happened. And so like I said, I was self-harming again. I just was in a really bad place. Then I went to cosmetology school, which was hell. That was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. I spent every single day crying in the bathroom, wishing that I wasn't here anymore. It was the worst thing I have ever gone through in my whole entire life. I ended up getting through it and ended up graduating. And I literally would drive to school and forget where I was going. I would drive to school and forget driving to school. I was so burnt out and tired from cosmetology school because I also worked. And cosmetology school was from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and then I worked 6 to 9 p.m. And so doing that almost every day or 3 times a week I did school every day, but work was 3 times a week, and those combined was not it. I ended up quitting my job. And then 2022 comes around. I am with my boyfriend that I was with now, and I am trying to let things get better. But instead, they keep getting worse. I am so depressed that I literally would sit up at night crying for hours, and I didn't know what to do. So I ended up going to an online mental hospital, and the program was called Charlie Health, and it did not help me at all. But what I did learn through that program is that I have a thing called BPD, and if you don't know what that is, it's borderline personality disorder. When I found out, I honestly was in a bit of shock because I have never heard of it. I didn't hear much about it, but I did my research and it started to make a lot of sense throughout all of what I've been through. And I also didn't have the best relationship with my father growing up, so all of that mixed together plus what I learned, I just was oh, that's why I do this, that's why I self-harm. That's I started putting pieces together, and it really did help me finding my diagnosis because I just was confused. So a lot of 2022 I honestly spent, what did I spend doing? See, this is another thing. I developed some memory loss because of how burnt out I was that I could barely remember 2022. And it's now 2024. So someone send help because I don't even know. But yeah, 2022, I ended up graduating cosmetology school because it was from 2021 to 2022. And then my mental health was bad that whole entire time. I ended up doing Charlie Health in actually 2023. I got my years mixed up. But moving on to 2023, my mental health is still really bad. I'm crying all the time. I'm self-harming. I am trying to do what is best for me. Meanwhile, I'm going through issues with my dad. I am arguing with him. I'm not getting along with him. I am just truly struggling. Now, I found out I had BPD in 2023, so last year. And sorry, because like I said, I got my years mixed up. But like I said, finding that diagnosis out honestly helped me a lot because I knew what I was going through and why I was going through it. And so I'm gonna fast forward till now because I feel like I've explained a lot of my background. But basically, now honestly, my mental health I thought could never get worse, but it is. I struggle to get out of bed. I struggle to brush my teeth, to shower, to brush my hair. But my biggest issue is working. I know that there are a lot of people that can relate to this, but if you have a lot of mental illnesses, they don't ever pause. Mental illnesses don't stop for things, and they will be there and they will be in full swing most of the time. And especially if you're having like depressive episodes or harder times eating, it doesn't go away. And I really struggle with working. Ever since 2021, I have not been able to work normally. I have tried, but I have never had a full-time job, and I can barely work a part-time job. It takes all my energy away and drains my life from me, and it makes my life so miserable. Right now I have a job and it's doing that to me, and I'm really trying to push through it because I need money. It's like this. You're working constantly to stay here and to be happy and to try and fix your issues, but at the same time you have to push all of that aside because you have to go work. And when you get home from work, you don't have the energy to put that into working on yourself because it's all gone. You're all burnt out. You're a burnt potato chip, like literally. And so it just really sucks having mental illnesses and not being able to be quote unquote normal. And if you understand what I mean by that, it's kind of hard to explain, but like a normal person, right? They get up, they work, they do this, they don't think about it. But when you're someone with a mental illness, you have to take more steps sometimes. From my experience, by the way, like I'm not no professional, like please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because this is just my personal experience. But like you have to take extra steps to take care of yourself. You have to take extra steps to do the bare minimum. Like a normal person, they get up, they brush their teeth, brush their hair, they don't think about it. But if you're depressed, you're thinking about it because you haven't done it in 5 days. And that's, not with everyone, but that's me personally. And so right now I'm really trying to work on working. I'm trying to work on my dreams. 2024 is a new year, and I really want to take that and really make something of it because the last 3 years have not been my years. And it's been really hard and has made me struggle a lot with staying alive. I am one person that do struggle with staying alive, but I try my best to do what I can so that I can stay alive and love my family and be here for you guys and to make people feel less alone. I feel like if I have any purpose in my life, it is to make others feel less alone because I know what it's like to be alone and I know what it's like to feel like nobody's listening. And so just know, anyone listening to this, if you struggle just like me, just know that I am here and I am listening. Always feel free to comment, and I can support you in the best way I can. There's always the 988 hotline. Don't ever forget any of that stuff. But so I think I'm going to be ending today's episode because I feel like I have explained deeply my mental health. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sit down talk with Maddie. If you would like to see more videos, maybe comment down below some topics you'd like me to talk about, or things that you want to get to know about me that I can talk about because I love talking. And thank you guys so much for listening and watching and taking the time to sit down this video. Yeah, definitely. To sit down and watch this video. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye.